On this channel, Million Dollars Made Easy, we love to run numbers for people. We like to show them just how easy it might be for them to reach $1 million in retirement if they have the time. I'm not a financial advisor, but I have developed some tools to help you see where you might be down the road 30, 35, and 40 years. What I want to do is look at somebody, but going to take somebody that just is going to contribute just $150 a month, and they're going to increase that by 3% a year, and we'll see where they might be in the next 35 and 40 years if the market continues to do what it's been doing for the last 100 years. We don't believe the market's going to be any worse or any better than the last 100-year stretch. So we especially want to look in this 35 and 40-year column. Again, we'll look at somebody $150 a month, increasing that by 3% a year, starting with 150 a month and 155 and so on, gradually just building this up, what you're putting in. Just look at what you might have after 40 years. These numbers are going to blow you away. This is the 40-year column. Say somebody's 25 years old today, this year, and they can just put $150 a month in and increase that by 3% a year, where they might be. Look at this column. If the numbers were like 1924 returns, which is this summary box right here, you're going to see after 40 years, they'd have 1.739 million. Before I go any farther, I want you to notice the difference between 20 years and 40 years. This shows you how compound interest really works. You'd think 20 years later, it might be double that. No, it goes from 81,000 to 1,739,000. We can check this year after year, 1925, 90,000 up to 1.866. The key is getting it in there. Let the snowball effect of compound interest work for you. I want to look at this column right here. This is the 40-year column. Again, we just saw the 1.739. Going down through here, the worst case scenario you're going to see is 1935, 930,000. This is the minimum amount you're going to find in this whole column. There it is right there. The median of this whole column would be $1.413 million. What happened with 930,000? If you look at what's going on in 1973 and 1974, 1935 would be going along here just fine, getting all these nice big returns. And by the time you got to 1972, you'd really be in good shape, but then you hit the 2 down years. But before people panic, I want you to realize if you can stay in the market, just a year or two later, look at that. It was down 14 and down 26, but look how it came back. Up 37, up 23.84, and then we got into the 80s where it just went crazy. Again, we hit the 2000s or whatever. So it depends on what year you're looking at. But even if you look at some of these other years, you're not going to find anything less than $930,000. That's contributing this $150 a month, increasing that by 3% a year. Can you imagine if you contributed $300 a month? Now we'll just increase that by 2% a year, $300, 306, where an individual might be if they have this 35 and 40 year. Let's update this. These numbers are going to, again, blow you away. I just love to show these numbers to people. Look at this. The worst case scenario in this whole column, there's 1935 again, is 1.694 million. The median, meaning half the time you'd have more, half the time you'd have less. In this 40-year column, over the last 100 years, the minimum you're going to see is 1.694. The median is 2.557. I just want to show these numbers to people to show it doesn't take that much if you get it in there and let the compounding effect work for you. Again, look at this scenario. After 20 years, 1925, 166,000, kind of taking a while to build up. But look how the snowball goes down the hill. Just 10 years later, you're basically close to $1 million. And 10 years after that, you're up to 3.308 million. And again, no matter what year you pick, you're going to see that kind of scenario. The difference between this column, 20 years, and this column, 40 years. You'd think it'd be double the 20 year, but no, it's usually about 20 times as much. You go down through a 277 up to 3 million. 4 and 1 up to 1.694 million. It's just unbelievable numbers. Get the snowball rolling. Get it rolling as young, as early as you can. These are the kind of numbers. Our channel is called Million Dollars Made Easy. I love to run numbers for people. Please like this, subscribe, and share this channel with friends and family. And be sure to put in the comments what numbers you want me to run, because I'll run numbers for anybody just to project where they might be in the next 20, 25, 30, up to 40 years, especially if you're in your 20s and you have 40 years. You can see the kind of numbers you can have. Again, thanks for watching and please subscribe.